You're a fraud.
You're a liberal hack.
G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of The Hack and the Fraud. My name is Ryan. I am joined, as always, by Nicholas.
Hello.
And very special guest, my sister, Alysse.
Hello.
And today we will be talking about Sofia Coppola, an episode I've been very excited for. Recently done a bit of a directorial deep dive on Sofia. And, thought, bloody, we should be promoting women's voices anyway. So female director and female accomplice in my sister, Alysse. How are you? Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I'm a bit worried about my opinions on this episode, to be honest.
Oh, really?
That's so good to hear.
Oh, no.
We didn't have a sibling fight. Me and my brother agreed on too many things, so it's good if you guys don't agree.
Yeah, I think that's what we're in for.
Awesome.
Oh, that's surprising to me. Okay, because off the bat, I had seen a couple of Sofia's films before, and then recently Priscilla came out, obviously. And I watched Priscilla and I really enjoyed it. So I went back and I'd already seen Lost in Translation, but that might have been it. And I watched all of her other movies. And now I think she's one of the greatest directors of all time. I've said this. I think all of her movies are fantastic. I love them all. To varying degrees, like some are masterpieces, some are just merely great. But we'll get into it more, but that's like my general perception of Sofia. She's like a unique, original, one-of-a-kind talent, arguably more than her father. So that's my take.
Whoa.
And that's my hot take. And Alysse, what did you think of it?
Very arguably. Very. Sorry, go ahead.
I had only ever seen one of her films. I had only seen The Bling Ring before.
Oh, wow.
And then, so in preparation, I did also watch Marie Antoinette, The Virgin Suicides, and Lost in Translation. And I absolutely do not match what Ryan feels about her. I was watching them, I was like taking notes, and my overall notes for Sofia are no plot, just vibes, and good music.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
music.
So you're pretty low on her. Like you're not even as like an average director. You think below average.
Okay, that's maybe too far. Look, okay, let's start this off. I am no like expert. I am not a movie buff. I don't like.
No, we're gonna you're on the show from now on. This is great. I love it.
Like if you guys are the hack and the fraud, I'm like I'm just the I don't know person like throwing shit. I don't know. Yeah, I shouldn't be here.
No way. That's
No, that's what movies
we
are
are
everyone.
all us qualified as each other because we aren't qualified. Yeah. That's what's great about all of
Yeah,
our
fair.
All right, well, then I'm right in the middle, but I think I'm more on your side, Alysse.
Okay.
I certainly don't think she's... okay, I'll say this. Alysse might be the Sofia might be the favourite director if you asked her father, Francis Ford Coppola. He would lie to her and say, yeah, you are the best working director currently, to avoid any drama and fighting. But he does not really think that. I don't think... There's many opinions about Sofia being one of the greatest of all time, simply because it is a bit uncharted, and it's probably for a good reason, I'm going to say, because I don't think she's that good. So this is what's interesting is you've met, like we talked about another great female director, Greta Gerwig. I think what you think about, I don't think she's one of the all-time greats, but I certainly think she's put way better runs on the board than Sofia Coppola.
Incorrect. She's done like 3 movies, and 2 of them are not good in my opinion.
Yeah, but she's won. I'm pretty sure Sofia has only had 1 nomination, Academy Award nomination. Sofia,
I think she's had.
No, she's had 1. I checked.
1. Okay.
Only
she's
1.
Nominated for 3 Academy Awards for her film Lost in Translation.
1
just
film.
reading it now.
Right. So there's,
there's like 4 nominations for Lost in Translation.
Lady Bird was the best film in that class. So, I think she's already a higher pedigree. That's just me. Look, I think I think she is a good director. I think she's even great. I think one of her best films is actually The Virgin Suicides. Did you not like that as much, Alysse? Was that your favorite one of the ones you saw?
Yeah, favorite out of the ones I saw for sure.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. I think that was, but I didn't quite get Marie Antoinette. I probably need to watch it again. I watched it when I was very young, and The Beguiled wasn't a good film for me.
Oh man, that movie killed me. I love that movie so much. Virgin Suicides, I get, like, she came kind of out of the gate with like a kind of a rock star attitude. That's like a real statement debut film. And yeah, I can see, but I think she's just got better since then. She's kind of, and it's interesting that she's had the same sort of style, interests. She kind of like had it sorted straight out of the gate with Virgin Suicides, and she's only kind of built on that throughout her career. And yeah, The Beguiled, didn't you find that to be a really tense, affecting thriller? Again, obviously about girlhood and stuff, but Colin Farrell is such a brilliant actor in the role, because he uses his boyish charm to put you at ease or whatever, but to highlight how truly twisted he and men generally are, but like how men have that effect on young girls. It's the same sort of thing that she's doing with Priscilla as well. I find it to be all fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen Priscilla. I think I would like it though. I don't think The Beguiled. Look, I did look into it after having watched it, and it's a common opinion that it was nowhere near as good as the original film, and that's often. That's just what most pundits who'd watched both had said.
Yeah, I haven't seen I didn't even know there was an original. That's surprising.
I haven't seen it too. No, yeah. So, but I felt no compelled to watch the original, but maybe I need to watch the original. And if I really find the original much better than The Beguiled, it kind of is a bit telling for me. I know it's a remake, but if I've seen one first and didn't like it, and then the original source was like on point, it's just I don't know. I think she's middle of the crowd, and occasionally sort of pops up to be quite good. That's my honest opinion of her in films.
Just quickly on The Beguiled, I did feel that it was kind of, it reminded me more, even though I haven't seen the original of The Beguiled, it kind of seems like it might be a True Grit kind of situation where, like, I mean, the remake of True Grit is, I mean, the original is great, but the new one is something completely different for a new generation. And better. Yeah, better. It kind of had a similar vibe to that for me, but generally, remakes. But
I'm interested what we all think about Lost in Translation. I think that's clearly that's her most successful film. I'll just say this is more of a taste thing. With Bill Murray, he was never the guy for me, and I know that's easy to say now because he's like it's like he's sort of been dragged a bit recently. But he was like, I remember so
I've always been a big Murray guy. Just
yeah. So yeah, he's never like whatever he touches or does is funny for me. It wasn't just like effortlessly. Right. Like so in Ghostbusters, he's great. Don't get me wrong, but in
are you a Bill Murray guy, Alysse?
I mean, not currently, but like for sure, like I think Groundhog Day era, like I for sure got the Bill Murray thing.
Yeah. See, for me, that's kind of I'm like everything is funny.
Right, okay, yes. So like in Zombieland, Emma Stone's character, you remember how she's just like, this guy is so funny, anything he does. I'm not there with Bill Murray. That's what I'm saying. So the story, I think what was really great about Lost in Translation for a lot of people was it was just Bill Murray acting as Bill Murray. So for me, I still liked it, but it was only so appealing for me.
Sure, yeah, because you just don't like, and he is. I mean,
I don't not like him, but he's not. I find other people funnier.
It's like a dramatic interpretation of Bill Murray, who is a guy that you don't find funny. So I can see how that's not really appealing in a character. For the entire
I find
movie.
It funny. I do. It's just not as funny as everyone else. I'm not a hyper fan.
I also feel like his character was just like not his best character. Like he's way better in other films, and I found his character kind of like not that interesting. I was kind of like, would Scarlett Johansson really be into this guy?
Yeah, I feel like it's Sofia Coppola wrote the film, but I feel like she
inserted herself that she was Scarlett, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean.
Right.
Like there's a sort of, I think it's successful. Like I think it's a good film. she's clearly acting as Scarlett Johansson, who is in awe of this guy, and wants to spend time with him, and has that emotional moment at the end. That's all. Like, it's all good, but it's just
the ending is
that
one of the all-time endings, though, isn't it?
But
That's
like, I feel like there are like iconic scenes in that movie, and I can see why they became iconic. But it's just like there's not really any plot connecting them. It's just like
no, it is a plotless movie.
It's just vibes.
Yeah, and that's a good call. I think it really is. I think it's probably. I like your point on that. So really, she sort of. Okay, so in other films that we haven't seen, Rhino, like Somewhere, for example,
I've seen
that kind of similar with how she kind of really doesn't have a plot that sort of drives the thing.
Somewhere is like the most no plot, all vibes movie of them all. It's like it's really hard to watch if you're not, like, I gave it a 9. I still loved it because I am about Sofia Coppola's style, like artistically, it just speaks to me. I'm like everything she's doing, I am like agreeing with. I feel like I can see what she's saying with it all, even though it's like from a wildly different world. She's like always writing from a place of honesty and like self knowledge. So it's always about rich people and girlhood and womanhood and all that kind of stuff, which is obviously not things that I'm intimately familiar with. But I could just see. I think it's all about how those things are just nothing really, and she's just drawing on the humanity of it all, obviously. Anyway, but Somewhere is the most.
I draw upon the richness. Yeah, you're right. Like I'm like,
that's what I relate to. Just having nice cars and like staying at the Chateau Marmont. Is that what it's called? Anyway, yeah, it's just an actor who's kind of achieving all the success in the world, and he's still miserably unhappy staying at this hotel for Hollywood celebrities who are like, drying out and shit, or partying or whatever. There's like, a 10-minute scene where he just watches these 2 strippers in his room just stripping for him, and he's completely uninterested in it. But it's kind of like more. I saw somebody write it as like it's more exciting than staring at the wall, but that's about it. And that's like the life that he has, which is like overstimulated by
very
wealth,
numb.
And he's numbed by it. And she's talking about a lot of that for a lot of her movies, but. Somewhere nothing happens in it. He just like kind of wanders around, hangs out with his daughter for a bit, drives a car for a bit, drinks for a bit. Nothing happens, and then I'm captivated for the 2 hours of the movie and feel like she's said more to me than fucking June or whatever. Like, even though nothing has happened. No, so just
you bring that up.
Fucking drive by.
It's good you bring that up.
June, but yeah.
Actually, I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself, Alysse, if you want. With me. Where do you sit on June? Maybe you're on the same side as your brother.
I'm gonna probably not redeem myself. I haven't seen it. I haven't read it. I'm sorry.
Ryan's now watched it twice, and he gave it he reviewed it down again. So he's reviewed it a 5 out of 10. So he's decided that he's not going to toe the same line as critics.
I'm a contrarian that might play into it. I feel like Sofia.
I had a look because I got a little bit annoyed by that. I'll be honest, when you tweeted that, and I had a look, and I saw that I went through your movies, and I went through similar movies. So you gave Avatar: The Last Airbender a 6 out of 10,
correct,
or a 3 stars. June was 2.5 stars. So I don't know. I
enjoyed
that. Was
like better
wow.
Overall experience. Honestly, the first hour and the last hour of June are like mind-numbingly boring. Not to get off topic. And the only interesting bit is when like the planet's attacked. I like that bit. But literally the first hour is exposition, and then the last hour is like wandering through the desert, anticlimactic scene with some guy that we've never seen before. It has a little fight, and then the movie kind of just ends. It's like a terminably boring experience. So when I say Avatar: The Last Airbender is a 6 out of 10.
Yes, for you. I mean, like, most people aren't giving it 5 out of 10. Like, there's a lot of fans of this project, and there's a lot of... We'll be doing... You know what, Alysse? Maybe we'll just go right into June 2. Don't watch June 1.
We should watch June 2.
Sequels only.
Alysse should come back for June 2. But anyway, we'll keep talking about Sofia Coppola for a bit.
Yeah.
Alysse, what did you like? Give us something.
Are we talking about Lost in Translation or just in general?
In general, we've moved on from Lost.
Okay. Look, I think for Marie Antoinette,
yes,
probably probably at the time this was like really groundbreaking and amazing. But I think the fact that things like, I don't know if you guys have seen The Great, the TV show.
No.
It's like, okay, it's like
a movie
it's like
podcast, Alysse. We don't talk about
right.
TV.
So sorry, we don't watch TV.
No.
But it's like a period TV show, but it's like very, very funny. Completely like it's just satire.
Sure.
It's great,
Right.
and like something like Bridgerton, where they're like, oh, it's like a period piece, but like we're
Bit of a
playing modern
twist,
songs.
anachronistic, yeah. A Knight's Tale.
Like, I'm assuming Marie Antoinette was like the start of all of that. So it's probably really wonderful and groundbreaking in that sense. But because I've seen those other things, it just like didn't, I wasn't that like wowed by it. Like the music in it was great. Like,
how good was the shoe scene where they're like trying on all the different shoes?
Sure.
It's very modern.
Yeah.
And Sofia Coppola even like snuck in some modern day sneakers. Into
right.
that
Yeah.
scene.
No, true. I did notice that. Yeah.
So
like,
what I'm hearing, what I'm hearing. So Ryan's a massive fan, and you're a fan, Ryan, of the vibe of a rich, well-to-do, affluent,
Nepo baby,
Nepo baby. Like, I don't know if this is really the sort of like.
Well, that's the thing about humanity, right? Like, human beings can come from anywhere in life, and sometimes, like, she had a great quote, which is like, just because I'm observing superficiality doesn't mean I'm superficial, which I feel like that's a common criticism. She's too close to the things that she's making films about, like richness and girlhood, blah, blah, blah. But she's observing it with the artist's gaze. She's brilliant at it. And her movies are so observational to me. I feel like the camera is not a character, but like the camera is her more than
that is a very
director.
good observation. I feel like someone just turned on a camera on these people's lives and we just watched it wasn't like a regular movie where you would have like really like the important and entertaining parts of it. She just turned it on during someone's day, and so we get to see these like really like long-winded like camera shots where I'm like, this could have ended several seconds ago. And so like nothing that interesting is happening. It's just observing someone's life.
It's all in the silence. Like she's not
and
saying
I found
it,
that
but
really
it's...
boring.
I can see that.
I wrote down watching Marie Antoinette. I was like, why does this exist? Like, it just, I don't even feel like it captured like a good, like, I don't know, like it was just like all of these vibes, and then French Revolution, and then it ended. Like,
I feel like you also have to watch it in the context of who Marie Antoinette is culturally, like how we're aware of her. Like, Let Them Eat Cake. Yeah. She's kind of portrayed as almost the archetypal, almost like Eve, almost like this whole thing where we've just been demonizing women forever. And she takes that character who is like the archetype of that and turns it into this sympathetic, regular girl who they kill for that.
And I think, like, to be fair, so like there were lots of things that were confusing me at first, but then I was like, oh, okay, I get the artistic choice. Like, for example, when she rocks up to meet her new husband, and she's got like her hair, she's got like the full on like bleach blonde with the regrowth and the braid, and that's exactly how I was wearing my hair when I was 12. When around the time this came out, probably not that old, but like I could see what she was doing. I was like, okay, I can see myself in this character that I am absolutely nothing like. So that was great. That was very good. Doesn't change the fact that I was bored.
I found the attention to detail in the sort of historical setting to be kind of interesting. I'm not normally into historical biopics, and it just felt like very different from that kind of, like how Oppenheimer is a biopic.
But it wasn't your classic biopic. It was really like a reimagining or retelling.
Yeah.
Totally.
So it wasn't.
Did you like it, Nick?
Yeah, so I don't think it's set out to be boring, though. That's the thing. So I think that's why it's a sort of valid criticism, because I don't think it was set out to be an ordinary movie, and I kind of felt similar. This is obviously from my teens when I watched it, but I was kind of never really gripped by it, and I think maybe similar, maybe very different to what she's going for in Somewhere, and certainly The Virgin Suicides was very aloof, but it really worked. It was really kind of like, because it's told from the guy's point of view.
Yeah, it was.
And so you're not really, you only get a glimpse into their lives until the very end, and it's tragic, obviously. So it really, that's why it's my favorite film, and I think that's why. But I think it doesn't.
It's your
quite
favorite
work
film?
My favorite film by Sofia.
I thought, yeah, well,
You caught me though. No, you can certainly cut that and tweet it if you want.
all right. So,
So I did say it.
what was your favorite one then, Alysse?
Yeah, Virgin Suicides for sure. I feel like
Suicides?
it was definitely like all of the like a lot of these I was like the dialogue, I was like, is this, especially like in Bling Ring, I was like, is this shit dialogue or is it actually amazing dialogue?
It's amazing.
And
The
these characters are awful.
Yeah, the Bling Ring is particularly. I talked about this on Twitter, but I love the Bling Ring. It really reminded me of Spring Break as kind of like a quintessential millennial film. It just captures that like early 2010s, 2012, 2013 vibe of like going out and clubbing and celebrities and Paris Hilton and Usher, dance music and like just rampant consumerism and just spiritual rot and they're smoking weed because that's cool now. It was like a very interesting time, the early 2010s into the mid 2010s, and I feel like she captured that like nobody else has. It was really and the characters have terrible dialogue because they're just terrible, shitty, rich kids who have nothing going on inside, just a black hole that they fill with like extreme activities because they've got nothing inside.
Okay, well, I'll give her that one then. I'll assume that she was doing that well. But also, like, those characters are like so unlikable, and they're the only characters. So you've
like
just
Emma
like
Watson.
So awful.
So
even her mum, Leslie Mann, whatever her character is in that.
She's crazy.
There's no relief in that movie. You're just like, oh, I hate all of you.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that one
I feel sorry for Leslie Mann because she has got just such a tone to her voice where she can play such an unlikable,
like a very grating mother.
I mean, actually, she was probably my favorite character in that movie, just because, like, I feel like she's, I don't know, like, well, they're caricatures, but they are actually real, probably pretty accurate, capturing. Oh, I'm nailing English. Pretty accurate, like, portrayal of those people.
Leading them in the spiritual circle, chanting. Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah, like that's kind of just funny. Whereas the other characters are just like exhausting. Like you're so like I would hate you if I met you.
Yeah, I would hate all of them for sure.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite is kind of hard to decide, but I think it might be Marie Antoinette. We've talked about it at length.
Yeah.
So for all the reasons I said earlier in the podcast, it's her big budget film. She has all the resources at her disposal, so she's being like kind of creatively interesting. She can take all these chances, and she's still like fully true to her style. Like visually, it sort of has the same sort of washed out colors, and she does a cool thing. I feel like a lot of directors these days there's a lot of like symmetrical shots. I saw that, and she doesn't do that. She kind of has these beautiful painting type shots, but they're not just that kind of boring symmetrical. In fact, she's often doing sort of like asymmetry stuff that's really interesting. And it's more about like her visual style is really unique and I love it, but it's more about like, what she's saying, how she's communicating it. She communicates it without dialogue, just with the camera's gaze, which I find really interesting. I think Marie Antoinette's kind of the best example of that. And her sort of actor-director relationship with Kirsten Dunst, I think, works the best here, and Kirsten Dunst is awesome in it. So
I think,
that's mine.
All of my criticisms of her are actually not of her directing; they're of her writing. Like I don't
really, because she writes all of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I would get to the credits and I would be like written and directed. I'm like, okay, well, she's to blame for why I'm bored right now. I think the directing, like for me, like as someone who is not a film buff, I think like if I don't notice the directing, or if all I notice is like, oh, that was that was nice, like that's it, that's a good job for me. I don't really need to be like blown away, because
like a referee in football,
like I'm not exactly I'm not looking out for it,
and she shows off a bit. She's like a very, not ostentatious, but like her fingerprints are all over everything. She's like very specific.
Yeah, so
that's true. It's very her. Often, like she's not telling. You can tell it's a story from hers. You're not ever. Yeah, that is one thing that she does have that's quite strong. Is that like the great directors, she has her distinct style that's unmistakably her.
And you can see it from the very start, which is, that's cool. And did you have like a least favorite, maybe like one you really didn't like?
All
For
the
sure,
others,
Bling Ring.
All the others.
yeah, all the others. Pretty much. I would rank Virgin Suicides, Marie Antoinette, Lost in Translation, Bling Ring. That would be my order.
Fair enough.
Nico,
There we go. Diverse opinions. That's what we want.
Yeah,
We've got two polar opposites, and then I'm sort of in the middle.
Yeah, like I want to like say, despite all of my criticism, I feel like she's probably like a good 7 out of 10 for me. Like it's not like she's bad. It's just like she's the bottom of what I would consider good.
That's kind of how she's known, I feel. Yeah, I'm really.
Well, that's why it's so interesting that you're sort of so high on her, Ryan, because
it's crazy.
It's like it's not. There's no other campaign. You know what I mean? Like there's no
There's
other.
some people out there. There are like
I'm sure there is. If any people would say Tommy Wiseau's is one of the best ever.
No, but she's got she does have a devoted fan base of real cinephiles. I don't think there are some real cinephiles who are saying Tommy Wiseau is a genuinely great director. Let's be fair. I don't know why I'm white knighting. Hey man, let's be fair.
Tommy Wiseau, get fucking wrecked, Tommy Wiseau. Sorry for bringing him up.
And did either of you see On the Rocks with Rashida Jones? Because that's an interesting one. It's okay. That one's more. It's not at all like her other ones. It's not even real. I mean, it's still kind of like a dramedy, but it's more kind of like got that light, floaty, romantic comedy vibe to it. It's like an Apple TV movie. It goes for 90 minutes. And that's really fun. It also got Bill Murray in a very similar like role. Rashida Jones is his daughter, and he's always like talking about women and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, come on." But it's a really great movie. I'm not really selling it, but
yeah, look, I'm probably not gonna seek out any more Sofia Coppola movies.
I'm sorry, somebody to watch more Sofia, but
well, like it doesn't help that like when I watch these ones, you were like, oh, they're like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
That doesn't help, no.
It doesn't help. Because like there's nowhere up from here.
No. Well, yeah. No, well, yeah. Okay. Well,
let's so we're not just like inviting you onto the pod to trash the director. You know what I mean? Like just because obviously like they're a good let's talk some good, maybe like another good sort of director or a style that you kind of really sort of I suppose vibe with or like.
Paul Mescal movies.
Yeah, I think if we go for like if we went for actors,
Paul Mescal.
Mescal.
He was in did you see After Sun? That was a great movie from last year. Really, he's like plays a suicidal father who takes his daughter on a vacation. Again, one of those like boring, not much plot movies, but heart wrenching, brutal, wonderful movie.
Oh yeah, is he the guy that died recently?
No, that was the guy from Good Time.
Oh, yeah, Good Time.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're distracting you, Alysse. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know that.
What should we do next?
Yeah, if we go for like, because I like I said, direction is kind of like I don't look out for it. But if there's like actors, I definitely go. I will watch something based on an actor being in it.
Maybe that'll get the audience actor.
Yeah,
episodes.
Yeah, that's always cool to do because and often like Kirsten Dunst. She works with.
Oh yeah, we should do Kirsten Dunst. Just another Sophia episode.
But like so often you'll have actors that appear in the same films as like the same director. So I was the same as you. So I actually I would get into an actor or actress and then think, okay, I like this person. I watch them again, and then they appear with the same similar directors. I used to never pay attention to directors at all, except for obviously the major ones. And then you sort of figure out what you like.
Yeah,
go from there. It's good.
I feel like this was a terrible like introduction for me for an actor because I didn't like it, and she is a woman, and like
I know. Turns out
I feel like I'm letting down my gender.
I know. I thought people thought I was the misogynist. Turns out,
turns out it's me. Yeah.
No, it's fine because I defended Sofia Coppola strongly, and there are plenty of great female directors for us to come back to. Obviously, you guys will have to actually watch their movies. That might be tricky, but we come back for some more later. And you know what? I love Sofia Coppola. Genuinely, You know, I tried like June. I was excited for, wanted to like it, not again to go back to June, but you know, you want to like it and you just don't, right? You like what you like. Sofia Coppola, every movie I watch, I can't help but fall in love with the movie and fall in love with her mind and how she is as a director. So, yeah.
And don't let him feel too good about himself. This is the first female director he actually has gone on record to say is good. He's just
she's the first one, actually. That actually pretty much wraps up our time limit anyway. So unless anybody had any final thoughts, anybody want to reconsider some of the statements they made?
Not really. I'll stand by what I said. No one should listen to my opinion, but I'll stand by it.
We need the...
No, you got to double down on your opinion. You got to say, this is now...
True, yeah, that's what I think. Hyperbole.
You're
she
wrong.
is the best director of all time.
Nope, she's just okay.
She's not even the best in her immediate family. I mean, like, she'll never be. That's just so, like, I won't, and I don't even have a director as a dad.
And similarly, Ryan, you're not even the best podcast host of this show in your immediate family now.
I feel like I'm Sophia here. I'm defending. Hey, maybe
not even the better message podcast.
The other one's pretty good too. You should check out their stuff. Yeah, you should do a shout out to your podcast, which is called
Whatever Comes Next.
Whatever
Everyone
Comes
should go
Next.
Listen to it. It's a design podcast.
If you're into design, I don't know about the crossover with our pod, but
if you're into design and shit talking,
I have some,
go.
yeah.
I'm into shit talking.
Yeah. We'll be on the next episode. I forgot to do a shout out to our international listeners. I had a look today.
Where are they from?
Today's shout out is from Guadalajara in Mexico. Shout out Guadalajara. Thanks for the listener.
Nice.
We got 3 downloads from Guadalajara in the last couple of days. So
Amazing.
gracias.
Keep your head down.
And yeah, thanks for joining us, Alysse. It's been a pleasure to have you. Nicholas, same as ever with you. And a pleasure is what I meant. And we'll see you next week or whenever, you know, sometime in the future.
June 2 on the horizon, I think.
June
That's
2, probably this weekend. We might
tomorrow.
do a June 2. All right. We'll see you for June 2.
See you at June 2.
Bye.
Thanks, Alysse.
Thanks, fellas.